And here we are back with Johnny for our next lesson. This is lesson 5, subtle angles. We're moving from the broad angles and we're beginning to refine this with more subtle angles. And you're going to begin to see where our practice with contour and seeing will help, because as we're looking for angles, we start broad and we move into smaller angles like this, and then from there we get even more defined. We refine it even more and almost following the contour but with angles. And we use angles going from broad to narrow, simple to complex, because it helps us to focus and to put these angles in the right place. But essentially what we're doing is we're creating a contour with angles. And as we'll see as we continue to combine these tools we're using, we would be able to come back and refine these angles. We're not going to do that right now, but refine these angles to more accurately follow the actual contour. But using these angles gives us a way to put these lines in the right place. So here I'll continue doing some angles, not getting too specific just yet, and you just basically refine, refine, refine. And again, this is just to show you of what you want to be looking for, because when you're actually drawing, you'll be drawing this not over top. So now let's begin refining some of these as much as we can. And in this case it's hard to see, but I would even begin to look for angles within the figure after I kind of block him in here first. But for this assignment, we're just gonna focus on these angles on the outside. And now we're going to apply what I was just showing you with subtle angles to begin to refine this shape into an actual form. So begin to look for points. This is the top of the head, so there's the angle on the top. And then we have this angle going down about to here. We're looking to see where it goes down to, and I'm looking for an angle that connects to this point. So this angle is kind of going like that. So to make sure I get that angle going from top to bottom. Alright, now out to his hand. Not getting too detailed yet, not too refined, just trying to get the basic shapes here. Make sure this line is, see where this ends, this point is, the angle goes a little bit to the right. So if this is this point, I want to actually maybe be over. So I didn't quite get that right the first time. Over a little bit to make sure we have this point lined up with this point correctly. Alright, taking this out. Following these points, following these angles. So now I'm going to just so you can see it, start to try to refine these a little bit, and you can begin to see his legs and his arm coming out here. But let's start to get some more refined angles, really looking for the subtleties. And in doing so, we begin to define an angled contour. Ooh, a little more light. You can see you want to not go too fast with this. Really try to take your time to get the proper angles, because if you don't get this right and you start to lose the structure early on, it's hard to find it again, and you lose it, and then you end up fighting yourself trying to fix something that's wrong in the underlying structure. So this line here is just me following this in a little bit, this angle. Sometimes you can even, you do the angle and it kind of goes over a little bit just to kind of help you make sure you get the right angle. So you can see. This is the bottom of his leg here. Really starting to see the form come out of this as I continue to refine it. Where's the bottom of his foot? And you might find that sometimes your angles, as you kind of move through this organically, might be a little bit off, and just feel free though to let yourself adjust as you go through. I move this down a little bit. That's okay. As you kind of move through the figure, you'll find things might just be a little bit off. The point of these angles is just to give you that structure to really have a place to start from, so you're not totally lost. So let me just keep. Now this angle that I just did stops kind of at the middle of the foot. So I just kind of want to follow where that actually goes. Following the form here, remembering back to our contour, we're looking for every little thing, as we did with contour, where we really followed everything, looking for what we are seeing. So I'm not thinking about this as being a leg, I'm just thinking about what is the direction of these angles that I see, and just drawing that. And again, we'll be able to come back and refine this even more to more accurately mimic the curve shape, the contour that we see. So let's keep on going. And take this off camera and finish it up for you so you can see the completed look. Alright, so I've continued to refine these angles, and I even had to start adjusting some of the things, some of the angles, because I would look at this, step back, and compare it to what I have here, and part of these lines, the width was getting a little bit too thick. So it's something that you just want to be aware of, and especially from the beginning when you draw this shape, to really get it accurate, because then you'll start to fight yourself later on, and you are able to fix it, but it just gets more and more difficult. So as I was doing these smaller subtle angles, I started to notice that I was getting a little wide, so I had to start adjusting. And so that's just a good lesson to get things right from the beginning, and from that broad viewpoint, from those broader angles, because it will make everything easier as you progress forward. So good luck with this assignment. You can read about it in the course lesson and have fun with it.